Coletrain here. Today we're going to talk about how to remove the oil return line on your F650GS. This would be for the 01 through 03, but I'm pretty sure most of the bikes are the same. As you can see, I've already drained the oil tank into the drain pan. As you can see, I've got the socket on the oil return line banjo bolt. I'm just gonna start backing that out and you get the idea. Banjo bolt is loose. You can see I'm just gonna remove it. It looks like that. I'm not sure how well the camera can show you this. I'm doing this by myself, but as you can see, there is a crush washer on the top of that banjo fitting, and you need to make sure you get that. And there's also one on the left over on the top of the bolt there, so pay attention to those, don't lose them. The next bolt we got to remove is that guy back deep down in there. I'm not sure if it's pretty much the center of the screen. You can see it, and you can also see the part of the oil return line that it's connected to. And I'll back away slowly so you'll see where that's located on the F650. So again, let's see if we can find it with this camera. Oh, right there. Okay, that guy. So it's hard to get to, so we got to figure out how to get to it. Alright, what I've decided to do is remove this component that's part of the fuel system, this component here, and you see it's on a little metal hook, and it's a piece of rubber, and I've shot that with a little WD-40 to loosen it, and I'm going to try to pop it off, so we'll see how that goes. You can see I've removed the part of the fuel system from that tab, and kind of got a better line down into this bolt here. There it is. So I'm just going to attack that with the longest screwdriver or Torx head driver I've got, and I'll tell you the Torx size once I figure it out. Okay, I used a Torx T20, and as you can see, I've got the bolt, and I'm just unscrewing it like so. So I'm going to take it out, and I'll come back. Well, you can see it when I push this hose out of the way that it's obviously all the way loose and out. So I'm going to try to, it's kind of hanging on by the tab that holds the oil return line, so I'm going to try to grab it before it falls down into the innards of the motorcycle. Try to grab it with some needle nose, or maybe let it catch it in the palm of my hand down here or something. You're looking at it. This is probably one of the toughest bolts to get to on the motorcycle for people with the anti-lock brakes, the ABS on their F650. Well, it's loose, as you can see, but now how do you get it out of there? I'm going to start by detaching it from the oil tank. The return line is here, as you can see by the arrow. Just a quick little side step. We're doing the draining the radiator, draining the coolant on the bike. As you see, this is the water pump housing on the left side clutch cover at the bottom of the F650's motor, the Rotax 654. The drain bolt is here. I've already loosened it. It's not really dripping because I haven't taken the radiator cap off, which is here. And then you have the overflow tank and the reserve tank, whatever you want to call it, and it has a cap as well. So we're going to remove them both, give them a cleaning if they need it. I don't think this coolant's been changed in about 2 years. The interval for the coolant change is 2 years, so it's just time to do it. Okay, so the radiator is drained. You can see the drain hole is screw's still out. The screw is here with the radiator cap. Got to clean both of those. Get a new crush washer for the screw. Got my bucket full of blue BMW coolant, so I know the previous owner was using the expensive stuff. or the dealer did it. He told me he did it, but what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna start loosening these bolts on the starter motor, and take those out. So you can see I've got one almost all the way out, just to let you know what I'm doing. That'll help us get access to this side cover. And I'm told from F650.com, the chain gang, please join if you have one of these bikes. It's an invaluable resource. The only reason why I'm actually trying this myself. But I'm told from there that you can manipulate the oil return line in a way that will let you get it off in one piece. So I'm going to try that. If not, I might just cut it like everyone else does, or order a flexible version, or we'll see when we get to it. But I'm told that you can loosen all of the bolts around the cover, and there's several. The problem is here, your oil return line's blocking the cover from actually coming off. But I'm told you can kind of slip the oil return line in behind the cover once you get it loose, and that gives you enough play to get it out of there in one piece. I'm going to test that theory, and we'll see what happens. So let's move on and start undoing all these fasteners. As you can see, I've removed some of the fasteners, and I wanted to take a moment to show you what I do with all my fasteners. For all the body work, you can see I just kind of label it and stick them through cardboard, and then I put the size. So I'm doing the same thing. There's my water pump cover, and then the drain screw itself, and then these will be all of the items going all the way around the left hand side cover. And the size of all of them is a T30. As you can see, I've got the water pump cover bungeed up out of the way, and there's my wife. And you got to take the footrest off to get to the very last bolt back there. On top of the bucket, you can see the footrest is removed, and it only had 3 T40 bolts holding it in. There it is. There it is, folks. The side cover. Just tapped it with the hammer just a tad, and just kind of slid off. I did have to remove the clutch shifter fork, which goes on the outside top, like right here on the case, that holds your clutch cable. That made it a lot easier. Something to do with that was hanging up, so I just opted to pull the sucker off. Made all the difference. The rest of the thing just slides off. You can see the paper gasket still there, nice and neat. This shaft is something you got to kind of look out for. I tapped it once, very lightly. It's the shifter shaft, and you can see the clutch. So I'll get a look at the water. Oh, and the oil return line, it just kind of moved out of the way. I was able to push it around over the header, so it's in one piece. Since it's disconnected, I should probably just be able to jerk it on out of there. Look at there. There's that bloody friggin' oil return line. Well, cover's off. I undid the 6 bolts that hold the clutch springs and all the clutch plates into the clutch basket. Now I'm dealing with this guy. There's a washer with a bent tab. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm bending that tab back flat so I can get this bolt loose and remove this basket assembly. Well, you can see the cover. Those are all the 6 springs, the oil return line. And something I did with the clutch plates is I pulled them off kind of as one piece, and then I put a zip tie to keep them all together and to keep them all in order. That way they go back on the exact way they came off. There's no mixing and matching of the plates. You got to have them all in the right order that they came off, so might as well keep them all together.